Mark Cuban's net worth is $4.7 billion according to Forbes. He is considered one of the luckiest billionaires because he sold his company Broadcast.com to Yahoo for $6 billion, which is considered the worst decision to acquire internet startup. Yahoo had to close the company within 3 years as Yahoo was not able to keep up the expenses. Mark Cuban considers himself a lucky guy as the deal made him a billionaire and he sold the company just before the dot-com bubble. He started from very humble backgrounds. He was fired from a computer store for closing a $15,000 deal as owners thought his job was just cleaning the store. Again, this looked bad at start, but firing was the best thing that happened to him as he knows how to sell a software. He opened his own company and sold software and became a millionaire. He bought his private jet for $40 million from an online website, which is considered the largest transaction ever made on the internet. So how did this married father of 3 get there? Watch the full video to know that. Mark Cuban, how to become a luckiest billionaire. We at Business Chronicles tell the stories of extraordinarily successful people. Please subscribe to our channel to help us in making more videos. In 1958, Mark Cuban was born in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, to a Jewish working-class family. His father Norton made his living upholstering cars, and his mother Shirley worked in many different roles. Cuban spent his formative years in a Pittsburgh suburb called Mount Lebanon, and evidently got bitten by the business bug early on, starting his first venture as a 12-year-old. He made money selling garbage bags so that he could afford an expensive pair of basketball shoes. A stamp collector since the age of 12, by 15, he was attending stamp fairs to bolster his collection. At these, he noticed that the same stamp would often be sold for different prices at different dealers. And soon, he was buying a stamp for 50 cents from one and selling it to another for $25. At 16, Cuban took advantage of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette newspaper strike, reasoning that with Pittsburgh starved of news, he could run papers from Cleveland to sell there. He skipped his senior year of high school to attend the University of Pittsburgh, then transferred to Indiana University. He ran a few businesses while in college, including a chain letter, disco lessons, and a bar. He earned his BSc in management in 1981. After college, Cuban started working for Mellon Bank back in Pittsburgh, where he studied machines and networking in depth. Then in 1982, he moved to Dallas, Texas. He worked as a bartender and then as a salesperson for Your Business Software, one of the earliest PC software retailers in Dallas. He was fired within the year after meeting a prospective new client instead of opening the store. Undeterred, he started his own company, Micro Solutions, a software reseller and system integrator with the assistance of his former Your Business Software customers. He grew it to over $30 million in revenue and sold it to CompuServe in 1990 for $6 million, netting himself $2 million in the process. In 1995, Cuban joined Audionet with fellow Indiana University alumni Todd Wagner. With one server and an ISDN line, the company grew and became Broadcast.com in 1998. In the following year, the company helped to launch the first live-streamed Victoria's Secret fashion show. It now had 330 staff and second quarter revenue of $13.5 million and was snapped up by Yahoo, which paid $5.7 billion in Yahoo stock at the peak of the dot-com boom. Following the sale, Cuban hedged against the possibility of his own Yahoo shares losing value by investing in a Gulfstream V jet. He paid $40 million for it, which earned him a Guinness record for the largest single e-commerce transaction. He was wise to do this. Broadcast.com and Yahoo's other broadcasting services lasted only a handful of years, and Cuban considers himself lucky to have gotten out before the dot-com bubble burst. Commentators consider him smart to have hedged. Cuban still works with Wagner at 2929 Entertainment, which offers vertically integrated film and video creation and distribution. It bought Landmark Theaters on September 24, 2003, an art house movie theater chain with 58 sites, and was also behind the rebooted Star Search TV show on CBS. The company released the Steven Soderbergh movie Bubble in 2006. Cuban co-founded with Philip Garvin Access TV, formerly HDNet, the first high-definition satellite TV network. Cuban is now probably best known as an investor on the ABC reality program Shark Tank, a role he has performed since he joined for the second season in 2011. By May 2015, after 111 episodes, he had sunk approximately $19.9 million into 85 investments. Cuban's three biggest deals, weighing in at more than $1 million each, are 1031 Productions, Beatbox Beverages, and Rugged Maniac Obstacle Race. Cuban's presence has boosted Shark Tank ratings and earned it 3 Primetime Emmy Awards for Outstanding Structured Reality Program, 2014 to 2016. As of 2022, Cuban is the second wealthiest panel member behind Sir Richard Branson. Also in the entertainment sphere, Cuban owns Magnolia Pictures, a subsidiary of 2929 Entertainment, a foreign and independent film distributor. Its most recent notable release was the 2018 Palme d'Or-winning Japanese drama Shoplifters. In April 2011, Cuban did put Magnolia Pictures and Landmark Theaters up for sale, but in the absence of appealing offers, said that he'd be happy to keep them and continue making money from them. Cuban has added his backing to many ventures in the social software and distributed networking industries. He part-owned IceRocket, a search engine for blogs. He also became a partner in Red Swoosh, a company using P2P technology to deliver rich media, such as software and video, to a user's PC. It was later bought by Akamai. He also backed Weblogs Inc., which AOL later acquired. In 2005, Cuban backed Brondell Inc., a San Francisco startup that had pioneered the swash, a kind of high-tech bidet that attaches to a regular toilet. People tend to approach technology the same way, whether it's in front of them or behind them, he said wryly. In July 2006, Cuban invested in former St. Louis Post-Dispatch investigative reporter Christopher Carey's website, sharesleuth.com. It was created to expose misinformation and fraud in publicly traded companies. Cuban revealed that he would take positions in the shares of businesses that featured in the website's reporting before republication. The appropriateness of this was questioned, but Cuban insisted that his full disclosure meant it was legal. Continuing the sleuth trend, he founded bailoutsleuth.com in October 2008 as a grassroots resource to oversee the $700 billion American government bailout of financial institutions. In September 2010, he put capital into storefront analytics company MotionLoft. The firm's CEO John Mills said he emailed Cuban out of the blue about his business idea and claimed that he wrote back quickly wanting to hear more. Mills said this was enough to launch the company, but seems to have misrepresented Cuban's intent to acquire MotionLoft later, because the FBI charged him with wire fraud in February 2014. Cuban has declared his support for the company's technology, though. In late 2021, Cuban bought Mustang, Texas, a 77-acre town in Navarro County. He told the Dallas Morning News that a friend of his needed to sell it, so he had obliged. So now Mark Cuban owns a town, but he's confessed that he doesn't have any idea what to do with it. Cuban is a prominent Dogecoin investor, but notably sees it as a medium of exchange like any other currency. His Dallas Mavericks have been accepting it to pay for tickets and merchandise since 2021, and Bitcoin for tickets since 2018. In January 2022, Mark Cuban set up the Mark Cuban Cost Plus Drug Company, which aims to lower the cost of generic drugs for U.S. consumers. On November 17, 2008, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) filed a civil lawsuit against Cuban in relation to alleged insider trading of Mama.com, now Copernic shares, that allegedly saved Cuban from losing $750,000. Cuban disputed the allegations and called the investigation a product of gross abuse of prosecutorial discretion. A federal jury in Texas found in Cuban's favor on October 16, 2013. On CNBC, he criticized high-frequency trading in March 2014, considering it no different from automated insider trading. Cuban is currently a partner in Synergy Sports Technology, a web-based basketball scouting and video hosting tool that many NBA teams use. On January 4, 2000, Cuban became a majority stakeholder in the Dallas Mavericks NBA team, paying $285 million to H. Ross Perot Jr. Under his ownership, the team went from winning only 40% of their games to 69%, and they reached the playoffs more often too. NBA team owners are typically aloof, but Cuban regularly sits among fans wearing team colors. In May 2010, H. Ross Perot Jr., who still owned 5%, filed a lawsuit against Cuban, claiming imminent danger of insolvency of the franchise. The suit was dismissed in 2011 and also affirmed on appeal in 2014. Perot subsequently tried to stop Mavericks fans from using his parking lots near the American Airlines Center, in what can only be seen as an act of spite. Cuban has become renowned for his outspokenness in criticizing the league and its referees. He has so far attracted fines of at least $1.665 million for 13 contentious incidents, but his often fraying temper is at least benefiting charities. As he told the Associated Press, for every fine he receives, he donates an equal amount to worthy causes. Mark Cuban comes from a humble background. His family belonged to a working class. Money was hard to come. He was not able to open a bank account because he did not have $200, which was required to deposit to open a bank account. He was fired from a computer store because he got business of $15,000 to the store, and his bosses thought cleaning store maybe was more important than getting sales. He acquired the skills by reading the manuals of software, which in these early days of computers, many computer salesmen were not reading, and Mark Cuban got ahead of the game. He opened his own company called Micro Solutions and sold software. Micro Solutions was acquired by CompuServe for $6 million, and Cuban used the money to create Audionet, which eventually made him the luckiest billionaire. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to watch more videos like this.